What's going on, friends? You're watching Live Young, Live Smart TV. I'm your host, Tony Aguilar, the Gen Y finance guy. Today I'm going to be answering a question that I get asked all the time. It probably is the most common question that I get, and that's do I pay off debt or do I save money? I'm really going to break it down for you and show you what you should be doing. Mathematically speaking, you should definitely be paying off your debt. Your savings account is probably growing at 0.5% to 1%, if that. You know, most banks are probably at 0.25% right now. Your credit cards, they're going to range from 7% to 29%. So that's how fast your debt is growing. And your student loans, they're going to be from anywhere from 2% to 9%. So thinking about it, it just makes sense that you should be crushing your debt before saving money. Now, when you do that, you're going to get into what's called the deceiving debt cycle. And what I mean by that is, say you have $10,000 in credit card debt, and you just want to crush it and get it knocked out as quickly as possible. So you start paying $300 a month to just lower that balance. Now you're paying on it for 3 months. That means you've paid $900 towards your credit card debt. So that means you have $9,100 balance left. Now you're going to get in a car wreck, you're going to have to pay your deductible, your water heater breaks, you're going to need new tires, or there's a cruise online that you saw that you just want to pay for, but you didn't save any money in that time. You just paid off your debt. So how are you going to pay for any of those occasions, any of those scenarios? You're just going to swipe all over again, and that's just going to increase your debt level. And that's what the deceiving debt cycle is all about. Before you pay off any of your debt in huge chunks, you have to have what's called an emergency fund. It's just a lump sum of money sitting in your savings account, ready to pay off any scenario that comes up. You want to go on those vacations, you need to get new tires, your water heater breaks, boom, you have that money in your savings account to cover it. You don't have to put it back on your credit cards. Now, my rule of thumb is to have at least enough saved up to cover your deductibles for your insurance policies. Because you don't want to pay for a deductible $500 on your credit card if you get in a car wreck. That just doesn't make any sense. But it really is relative on how much more you should have saved up. It really depends on your career and the industry that you're in. Because if you're a nurse, you lose your job at one hospital, you can go to the next one and get hired on within 2 weeks. I mean, just nurses are in huge demand right now. But if you're a teacher, computer programmer, it's going to take you a while to find a new job and get settled in. So you're going to need between 6 months to 12 months saved up. So sit down with your family and really think about how much you actually need saved up before you start killing your debt. All right, now that you started saving up for that emergency fund, where do you put that money? I recommend not putting it in the savings account that you have at your bank. If you have Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, any of those big banks, you're really going to get a tiny return on those. I recommend opening an online bank like ING Direct, HSBC. I really don't like them right now because yesterday they just said they're laying off 30,000 people. So I'd prefer you guys go to Ally or ING Direct. But you're going to get at least 1% at those banks, and it's awesome because you're going to save your money and you can directly transfer that money from your bank at Wells Fargo or Chase to them absolutely free. So that money's automatically getting saved and kicked into that online account. It's making more money for you, and you really don't ever see it, so you're not tempted to pull it out and just transfer it over your checking and use it. Alright, now that we have our emergency fund set up, it's time to attack our debt. Now there's 2 ways to go about it. You have the snowball effect, and you have, I don't even know what it's called, it's just going after the debt with the highest interest rate. The snowball effect, the way that works is you take your smallest balance and you knock that out as quickly as possible. So say you have a loan that's for $500, the payments are 30 bucks a month. You knock that out as quickly as possible, and the minimum payments that you were making on that loan transfers over to the next smallest balance. And once that loan's knocked out, the combination of both of those minimum balance goes over to the next one, and you continue going that way. Now, the other way is to attack debt that has the highest interest rate. But a lot of times that's the debt that has the biggest balance, and that can take a while to overcome. So the snowball effect is really efficient and effective for people who have like 7 to 10 different types of debt, and you just really want to get something knocked out so you can have some, you can show that you're making some progress. Alright, depending on which strategy you want to use, a rule of thumb is if you have credit card or student loans that have an interest rate of 4% or under, just go ahead and continue making minimum payments on those, because essentially inflation is increasing at the same amount that your debt is increasing, so it almost cancels it out. So it's like you borrow that money for free. And those student loans are allowing you to get a higher paying job than you would with just a high school diploma. So student loans, minimum payments if the interest rate is 4% or less. So do you pay off debt or do you save money? The answer is build an emergency fund so you have a lump sum of cash to pay off any scenario that arises. And then go ahead and start crushing off your debt using the strategies that we talked about earlier. My name is Tony Aguilar. You can hit me up at tony@amitiadvising.com. My Twitter handle is @TonyAguilar. Also check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Amiti Advising. Until next time, my friends, live young, live smart.